All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday afternoon. I think for all of us, it's 3 o'clock here on the East Coast, so it should be noon with all of our friends there on the West Coast as well. We are excited to be spending this time with you together today. Super excited to see everybody hopping on right now. I know we had almost 800 people register for this webinar. It's one of our most popular webinars because the holiday times is the most popular time to connect with your clients and make sure that they're receiving a copy of your branded magazines and a reach out from you. So we're going to be going over that today, how to maximize your holiday edition here with Reminder Media. In the meantime, while everyone's kind of jumping on, we'd just like to get some interaction going. So we actually have the chat on. We have both the chat and the Q&A. So if you want everybody to see your message, you can use the chat. Just make sure you have it set to everyone. If you just want me and Luke to see your message, you can either choose that to just the host or panelist, or you can send us a Q&A. We're going to be watching both of those. We also have Callan on the line. She is the Reminder Media logo there on your screen. She's going to be helping out, answering any questions that you have as well. I already see people chatting in, so I didn't have to ask people to chat in. Larry from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, right next door. We're over in King of Prussia outside of Philadelphia, Larry. Great to have a neighbor on the call here. We got Lisa from Cape Town, South Africa. Is that the first time, Luke? Do we have an international? That might be the first time.
I don't think it's the first time. Maybe South Africa. What's up?
I know
Lisa?
our podcast gets international listeners, but Gigi from Colorado Springs, welcome. Danielle from Atlanta, Susan from Florida. Oh my gosh, lots of people chatting in. Rita from Reno, Nevada, Abby from Central Ohio. So we definitely have a wide array. Brian from Santa Barbara. All right, love that because I do love Southern California, so I'd love to see some representation there as well. We're going to go ahead and get started here on the webinar. Make sure you're sending in your questions as we go. We always like interaction during these webinars, and we try and answer any questions as they're relevant to the slides that we're going over at the time. But if we don't get to your question, we will absolutely be chatting in some answers, but also saving some time at the end where we'll have a dedicated Q&A section in case we don't get to your questions during the webinar. But before we do jump into that, we do have some people on the call here that aren't necessarily clients of Reminder Media, so we have some guests, so thank you, welcome. For those of you who are clients, you should know that we have plenty of free resources available to you right in your interface. We're going to pull up the interface today, go over some of those, show you where to find those free resources if you're not familiar with them. But you see, we've got some printable downloads up there on the screen. We have some ebooks. We have a ton, hundreds, literally hundreds of pieces of content in our resource library. I've seen companies charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for these types of resources. Luke's got his phone out. He's doing some social media content. Hopefully you guys are doing social media content today as well, but you can get that at remindermedia.com/resources, or you can go into your account manager and download them directly from there. Also want to call attention to our blog. So if you're not familiar, you don't follow us along on remindermedia.com, you can go to remindermedia.com/blog. We are constantly trying just to add value and kind of talk about the things that we've learned along our marketing journey and making sure that we're sharing that with you, whether in real estate, insurance, financial services, any real service-based sales professional industry. We have all kinds of tips on marketing and on sales over at remindermedia.com/blog. And then I've got to do it. I've got to give a plug for our podcast. It's a favorite thing that Luke and I get to do, which is our Stay Paid podcast. We release 2 new episodes every single week. We are about to record episode 500 of the podcast, which is crazy. We've been going strong for 4 to 5 years now with the podcast. And again, we're just bringing thought leaders on within the industry, within marketing, within sales, to just share what they've learned in their journey as well. And then Luke and I, we always do a quick one. So if you like short podcasts, you're going to love our Silver Dollar episodes that we do on Thursdays. We get in 10, 15 minutes of actionable marketing, sales advice. Silver Dollar came as an offshoot of our guest interviews, where the guests always drop golden nuggets. They're a little bit longer, maybe 20 to 30-minute interviews. So we'd love it if you subscribe to Stay Paid. You can get that at staypaidpodcast.com. And of course, you can subscribe on your favorite podcast platform as well. Quick plug for your magazines. Every single issue, it's not just the holidays. Every single issue, we add new exclusive content that goes along with the timing of that issue. So this is all about the holidays. Next issue is going to be all about New Year's. I think the one after that's going to be our pet edition, which everyone loves. Then we'll have summer content, roll into fall content, and continuing to give you guys new exclusive content each issue. So make sure you're logging in between your deadlines to check that out as well. And for anyone who's on the podcast, we just recorded them. anyone who's on the webinar that isn't familiar with Reminder Media, we are a marketing company, but we really work through relationship marketing. It is what we believe in. It's what we've been doing for 20 years. The idea of building those relationships with the people that you've worked with in the past, or those people within your sphere of influence. If you focus on those relationships, we truly believe, and we know because we've seen it with over 100,000 of our clients, you will close more deals, and most importantly, you're going to retain more of that business, and you will be the service sales professional that people think of when that referral opportunity presents itself. We do it through a myriad of tools. So we believe in omnipresent marketing. So we've been growing from print to digital, social, email. We've got our branded magazines. You can see there, American Lifestyle, Start Healthy, Good to Be Home, and Business in Action. So we've got a little bit on general lifestyle, health and wellness, home and decor, and then business and marketing. We also have some additional tools that maybe you haven't checked out. If you're a client of Reminder Media, we can actually tell you who on your list is most likely to move. We're going to go over that a little bit more, pull it up in the interface, show you that as well. Make sure you're taking advantage of that feature. It is free. A lot of companies are charging anywhere from $100 to $500 a month for this data. You get it absolutely free with your branded magazines here with Reminder Media. And then on the digital side, we have emails, we have posts, social media posts that are branded to you as a business professional. You can have your very own digital magazine, landing pages to help you start generating leads in your business. We've got postcards. We've got Facebook ad services. We're helping hundreds of clients now generate. Actually, I think we just hit the 1,000 mark, helping them generate leads in their real estate business, in their insurance business, and then also branding in general. So becoming the best known professional in your area. We are experts in this because we've been doing it for so many years for our own business, and we've been now doing it for our clients as well. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, head on over to remindermedia.com, or you can throw a chat in here. Just let us know your email address and what you're interested in. We can have your rep reach out to you and go over that for you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Luke to kick us off here before we jump into the interface and start looking at some of the tools available to you.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. And like you said, appreciate all of you jumping on. I'm going to actually chat in. I was writing this message. I was chatting into everybody. Would love to connect with you on social. So I just don't want to miss the opportunity with having hundreds of you on here to be able to connect with you on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook, Luke Acree RM. Even on LinkedIn, you can connect with me there, but would love to connect up. It's one of the best places I have to really be able to communicate with clients, help you out. If you have questions on marketing, I can help you out on that aspect. And then I'm putting out content all the time that I would love for you to check out. So please take a look at the chat. Let's connect up on Instagram.
John Carpenter says, we aren't booing, we're saying Luke.
Oh.
Sean, welcome, buddy.
Sean, I love you, man. I love you. I love what you bring to the table.
Master
I love
at
everything that you're doing.
Sean is, yeah.
Sean was on our podcast, by the way, so you guys got to go check out that. All right, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today, which is how to connect with your smear to get more referrals over the holidays, right? Specifically, you got Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas, Hanukkah, you got the New Year's coming up. We want to talk about that. Why? Because the proof is in the numbers. Right? So, I don't have to make a big deal about this, but I think it's important to show is that there's 54.6 million people traveling for Thanksgiving. There's 91% of consumers plan to gather for Thanksgiving dinner. 70% of Americans look forward to spending Christmas with their family and friends. 59% of Americans plan to celebrate New Year's Eve with family and friends. My point with throwing all these stats at you is not to bore you, it's just to drive home for all of us that people gather together around the holidays. And what they tend to talk about are big life events. And in the world that we live in, whether it's financial services, insurance, real estate, normally what comes before people buying our service or using our service is a big life event. Maybe it was a birth that is going to happen. Maybe it's someone with a job and they're losing their job or they're getting a new job. These things and topics of conversation usually come up around the holidays. And so you want to be front and center in your client's home. And the great thing about these magazines, right, whatever ones you're using, is one of our most popular pieces of content are our recipes. And so we're going to have content centered around things that they can use during the holidays. So every other, business is going to be sending a holiday card. You're going to be on the mantle if you just send a holiday card. When you send your own magazine, you can be front and center and not only sitting on their coffee table, but they might make the cookies, they might make the pie, they might make the turkey recipe. One of my favorite testimonials is Jane Shaw. She's a financial advisor, picked up an $800,000 annuity piece of business from a turkey recipe because she was sending the magazine to a gentleman and he called her up and said, Jane, just want to thank you for sending me this magazine because I used the turkey recipe during my Thanksgiving get together and it was a huge hit. And she did what I want all of you to do, which is use the magazine as a way to catch up with your clients. Hey, that's amazing. What's been going on in your life? Finds out that he sold a vacation home, wasn't sure what to do with the money. And she ends up picking up a $800,000 piece of annuity business from a turkey recipe. So that's what this is all about. Here's what we're going to cover today. You need to update your mailing list. So who should be on your mailing list? What are we seeing from our clients? You need to customize your magazine. So we're going to talk about the letter customization. We're going to talk about the photos that you should be using. We're going to talk about how to leverage your magazine because you can actually use these and take them with you when you go on these trips that you're going to go on. And then how to use the digital content to connect on social. So let's dive into the mailing list. Who should be on your mailing list? I'm going to point out friends and family. Don't ignore them. So I talk to so many agents across insurance, financial services, and real estate, and all of them make a common mistake. You think your family's going to use you. And I'm telling you, if you don't build your brand, and more importantly than brand, your credibility in the mind of your nieces, your nephews, your aunts, your uncles, those people that you are an amazing real estate agent, they will always see you as Luke, their nephew, not Luke, the real estate agent. You need to put your family and friends on the list because we've all experienced that feeling where you look and you see your own family didn't use you in the transaction. And it's not because they don't love you. It's just they didn't realize that they should use you and not the competition. The other thing you need to think about when you're thinking about your aunts and your uncles, your nieces, your nephews, like list out all your relatives. You need to think about, as an agent, you can get referrals, right? So the point here is my brother, when he first got into the business about 6 years ago, I did a referral fee with him. So he got me an agent up here in PA. He got my brother an agent. My aunt out in South Dakota, he got an agent for. He made a bunch of money his first year in business just going in his network of his family, because he has a huge family, and going, hey, if you're going to do real estate this year, let me help introduce you to an expert real estate agent in your area because I have an incredible network of great real estate agents that I can connect you with. You need to take that approach with your family. They need to know, even if they live in another state, that you would love to help connect them with your network of trusted professionals because this is what you do 60, 70, 80 hours a week. This is your passion, and you want to make sure that they're taken care of. So put your friends and family on the list. Second, clients whom you've made a transaction with during this past year. How many transactions have you done this past year? Have you added them to your list? The value of your business is in your database, so you've got to keep it updated. This is the biggest pain point of Reminder Media's whole business in my whole time of running this company has been helping our clients get their list together. Clients are historically pretty bad, not to beat you up, at keeping your list, your database clean and up to date. This should be an activity that you at least do monthly, where you sit down and go, what names do I need to add to my database? That maybe transactions, new prospects that I've met, new friends that I've made. Who do I need to add? And then who do I need to remove? Like, who in my database is going radio silent, doesn't respond to anything, doesn't engage, I haven't had a conversation with, can't get them back on the phone. Who do I not need to be spending time and energy on? You need to keep that database clean. Get your past clients that you've done a transaction with this year on the list. And I probably shouldn't call them past clients because once a client, always a client. Okay, prospects who are looking to buy in the new year. So this is an obvious one, but maybe not so obvious from the point that I'm making here, is that you're about to enter into a time. We have the fall market happening, especially for real estate agents. It's going to be really, really hot. And then all of a sudden the excuse is going to start coming in that I'm not going to be able to move before the holidays. So I just want to wait till after the new year. Do not, I've heard so many horror stories, do not let up on that relationship. And your struggle is going to be is if I'm working with Josh, my buyer, and I almost have him into a home, and it doesn't quite happen in time for, before Thanksgiving or Christmas. And he goes, Luke, with my kids, everything that's happening with my travel, I just want to wait till the new year. I have this struggle that, okay, I can no longer as much reach out to Josh about business because he's kind of put a hold, but I need to make sure Josh still knows I'm smothering him in love. I'm making sure that I'm in front of him so he knows that I care about him, that I'm here for him. The magazine is the perfect way to do that. Make sure you do not lose that prospect that you've been working because they weren't willing to buy right now and they wanted to wait a couple months. You need to get in front of them in a non-salesy way, put them on your list. Third, local businesses and partners. So I want you to sit down and do this exercise after this webinar. And you can think about it while we're on this webinar. Sit down and write down the businesses that help you get a transaction done. Who are those businesses? So if you're in real estate, it's your loan officer, your title company, maybe it's an inspector, there's an insurance company maybe involved. Who are the synergistic businesses to you that are non-competitive but help you service your clientele? Have you partnered with them on the magazine this year? Have you featured them on your back cover? We're going to talk about customization here in a second. Have you utilized your magazine to support their business? And are you sending the magazine to them? If not, get those people on your list because you need an incredible team to help you service your clients. And you need to make those people not just vendors, you need to make them partners. An incredible way to take them from feeling just like a vendor to you is to help market with them. And we're going to teach you how to do that on this webinar. And then last but not least, your old forgotten leads. So historically, in most businesses, people do not close in the first 30 days that they've requested information. Right? Especially in real estate, the life cycle of a deal, you can be 14 months before a deal comes to fruition. We're seeing with our Facebook leads, Josh mentioned our paid advertising for Facebook. We're seeing 6 to 8 months minimum for transactions to happen from the request of information off of a Facebook ad. So it takes a long time to get a lead to fruition to actually go to the closing table. Most agents are not persistent enough and consistent enough in their follow-up, and they have a bucket of old leads. Make sure you get those leads. Maybe if you don't want to spend the money on a custom magazine for them, use your digital edition of your magazine through email to drip on them, but do not forget about those people. Once a lead, always a lead. A no is not a never. A no is not a never. You want to keep dripping on them to stay top of mind, to make sure that you're building your database in a way that's going to scale for you. So Josh, if you want to take over and show them in the interface kind of how they can update their mailing list and what they can do from a group perspective, I think that would be helpful.
Absolutely. I also want to address Mary Beth. She's asking in the Q&A, do you create the mailing lists as a service? So we can help you with that. There's a couple of different ways we can do it. We can do it based on demographics and geographic. We can also take your database that you have, and then we can score it by those most likely to move. If you have a list of databases, we also have another great feature that we can help you with, which is if you only have phone numbers, if you have a list of your contacts' phone numbers, this goes for your family and friends as well. You might not have their home address. If you send us their phone numbers, we actually have a service that'll go and do a lookup for those addresses for you. So we have tons of options when it comes to helping you build your mailing list. And Luke may have said you guys don't do a great job at it, but hey, we're a marketing company. We don't do a great job at it either. So we're all in this together. We all got to get better with making sure that our database is updated. But one of the ways we can do that is by segmenting our list, as Luke mentioned. So if you haven't logged into your account manager in a while, let me just make sure I'm still logged in here. You may be seeing this for the first time, that some of our menuing has changed. So we've really cleaned up the left side of the menu here. This is all now marketing focused. So on the left-hand side, you have all of your different marketing options with Reminder Media. And then along the top, you have all of your account management. So your recipients, your profile, which is where all of your information for your own business is stored, your photos, uploading images, and then those resources that I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar. Underneath recipients, you'll see a link that says recipient groups. This is where I would encourage everybody, maybe go back through those slides that we just went through and segment out your groups by those different types of segments, because that not only allows you to control the different messaging that goes to those groups, it allows you to control the different products that those groups receive. And then probably most importantly, it's a good trigger. It's a good reminder for you. If every time you're logging in, you're seeing a friends and family group, you're seeing a clients you did business with this year group, you're seeing an old and past leads group, that will help trigger you to continue to update your database here with Reminder Media as well, so that we can make sure to get those materials out, which will help those relationships. Once you do have your group set up, a few different things you can do here with it. You can manage the products which those groups receive. So you see here, I have a group. This is just a demo account, but I have a group set up as my sphere. I can actually go in here. You can tell that they're already receiving my magazine and a postcard campaign. But if I also want them to receive my digital edition of my magazine, I can choose from any of the other products that I have available to me, and I can go ahead and assign them to receive my digital edition as well. This will then show me how many people it'll mail to. So it's mailing to 3 people. It looks like I've got 4 not sending. That means I need to go in there and update those contacts with an email address as well. So we're kind of helping you with what information you still need to fill in for those groups that you have. You can view your group by simply clicking on the name or by clicking the view group link over here to see who all is in there. And then from there, you can add people individually by going to add recipient. This is the best way probably after a transaction, just making it a habit to come in here, add a recipient to one of your groups based on that segmentation or based on which products they're receiving. Definitely the magazine is a high quality touch point to send after the transaction so that you can capture those referrals. Most referrals are going to happen in the first 12 months after the transaction. So that's a great opportunity to strengthen and continue to build that relationship. You can also import your recipients directly to a group or into your account manager by going to import recipients. This will prompt you to upload a CSV or an Excel file. If you have them in another format, you can send those as well. We'll just have to parse it, but we parse it internally for you, and we'll upload those to your list. But if you have it already set up in a CSV or XLS, export it directly from your CRM. You can upload that here. You can select which group that'll go to, and then it'll just simply give you kind of like a matching program. You can see here, you can view a video and watch that on how to upload a list via the recipient manager, but you can see here how you can just match the columns or match the fields from your list with our software here. That will then go through. It'll make sure to update all of the addresses based on the USPS. And then if you upload your entire database, which I don't know why you want it, because we're actually going to go through and show you who is most likely to move in your database. So I'm going to jump to my magazine here real quick. And then underneath this, there's a link that says likely to move. We might need to move it up top because that might be a little too hidden. Likely to move right here in your interface. It'll actually score them based on green is very likely to move. Anyone who is blue is likely to move. Then you have neutral, unlikely to move, and recently listed and sold. And the way that that's scoring that is we're taking and looking at the 3 different main buckets of data points. So it's thousands of data points, but it's 3 main buckets. One is consumer data. What are people buying? The second one is property data. Does the property look like have similar features or similar qualities to other properties that have recently sold in the area? And then the third one is behavioral data, which are the websites that people are visiting, the content that people are interacting with online. All of this data is being fed from multiple data providers, and then ultimately is creating a score based on an aggregate of all that data on who is most likely to move. So we can't tell you what people are doing, but we can tell you based on all of the activity that's happening within that consumer that they're likely to move. Now, Luke mentioned his brother's in real estate. He's #1 team in Lynchburg. They've been using our likely to move. They've actually been finding the most success, Luke told me the other day, in the likely to move category. So people who might be very likely to move might already be too far down the list. They might have popped up on that list because they already applied for a loan or they're getting pre-approved. So focusing in on that likely to move, if you go through your list and use that as an opportunity to make your follow-up calls, and definitely be sure to touch base with those people. We have found historically, this is going to be about 24 to 25% accurate. So 1 out of every 4 people that show up on this list will move within the next 6 to 12 months. So this is an opportunity to target who you're actually talking to on your list.
Yeah, 2 things I will add. One is you can upload your whole database. We encourage you to. You can upload your whole database and not send the magazine to your whole database. Of course, obviously, we want you to send as many magazines as you can, but you can upload your whole database and determine who's likely to move. If you're in insurance or financial advising, this is still relevant to you because one is, if you're a financial advisor and your people are likely to move, that's a huge life event happening that you can be aware of and help guide them through. If you're in insurance, right, what tends to change with insurance when you, especially if you're property casualty or mortgage home protection, it changes when you're likely to move. But even deeper than that, think about the partnership idea that I gave you. If you're in insurance, when you go to that real estate agent to partner up with or that lender, share with them, hey, in my marketing, I have the ability to try to run names through an algorithm to predict who's likely to move. Maybe we can come together, market together to even your list. I'll run it through the algorithm. We can predict on your list who's likely to move, and we can send them the magazine. So it's a value offering you can bring to a partner to that is more than maybe the other insurance agent is going to bring to them, right? Because if you're doing mortgage home protection, just as an example, you're going to the lender and going, hey, you're the source of the leads. You know who's moving, who needs mortgage home protection. Let's partner up together. But you don't want to just go ask. Everybody's asking them. You want to bring something of value. So not only can I feature you on my magazine, but let's use my marketing together to help promote your brand and mine together. So that's how this thing can go even to the next level for all of you that are on this.
Let me just answer a couple questions from chat real quick before we get on to the customization. I saw someone, I think Lisa was asking, where can you find likely to move? So if you expand your direct mail on the sidebar, so it's the second link down on the sidebar, and then the name of your magazine will be whichever one you're sending. So just click on the name of the magazine. It's the first link underneath dashboard on the left-hand side of your menu. And then Jason asked, how are you monitoring individual behaviors online? We are not monitoring individual behaviors online. Again, we don't see any of the data. What we see is the score that gets created based on all of that data that's anonymous and private. So
yeah, and they're buying that, just to go deeper. This data company is buying databases, right? So you can go and buy, for example, credit card databases, like purchasing things, but it's all anonymized. You can't get to sharing Luke Acrie's credit card purchases, but you can, in essence, tie it together to get correlations in the data. All right, so let's go on with customization, Josh, and we can jump back to the interface. So you got to get your list going, right? And then what you want to make sure is that you're customizing your magazine specifically for the holidays to be as impactful as possible. So if we are looking at like maybe the ads in the magazine that you're going to use, or the front cover that you're going to use, if you go and you choose on your magazine, you have multiple different cover options that Josh is scrolling through right now. I would encourage you, for this holiday issue, or the upcoming holiday issue, utilize a more personal photo. If you have a family, utilize a family photo. If you have pets, put you with a photo of your pets on the front cover of your magazine. This has been a really powerful thing that we've seen that just is a little different. They're used to seeing you in that suit and tie headshot. And they, that's coming in their mailbox, which brands you as the real estate agent, the financial advisor, but they don't know, hey, Josh is a father, or Josh has a dog, or whatever. And Tony Robbins teaches this, that rapport is built on commonality, right? The things we have in common, we tend to build rapport over. So if you know that I have a daughter and a son, any of the parents on the line are naturally more connected to me. Not a ton, but more connected, because they know, oh, wow, Luke's a father. If you know I have a dog, you're naturally more connected to me. If you can showcase that a little bit in your photo by showcasing you and your family, you and your pets, it just connects you a little bit more. And I would encourage you to do that for the holidays. It makes the most sense. There's going to be tons of different cover options in there, as you can see from what Josh is showing. I would encourage you, use the one with your photo on the front cover. All the stats that we see showcase that it is more effective for your brand. It's more effective to build mind share. It's more effective to drive results. I know some people don't like to put their photo on the front cover, but I would encourage you, utilize the front cover and to put your photo on. Here's some things to understand about the benefits of customizing your magazine. 54 minutes is the average time a recipient spends reading the magazine. So that was our latest survey with GFK. 69% of recipients were influenced to do repeat business with their professional because of the magazine. We asked a specific question: were you prompted to refer because you received the magazine? Out of the people who responded, 31% of the surveyed recipients responded going, I was prompted because of the magazine to refer. I point this stat out to people because I want you to know in your database right now, if you just use an average, there's 31% of people in there that will refer you. You need to make sure you utilize this mailing to reach out to them. We're going to talk about that a little later in the webinar and how you do that, tactic wise. But that's our average. If you look at these testimonials, so this is one of my past clients gave the recipe card that's inside the magazine to a friend who was at dinner party. The friend made a comment about the magazine, and my client said, she's our realtor. And they said, oh, we are looking to sell and buy. My client said, she's your girl. And we closed on 2 homes. So I want to encourage you, I'm just trying to inspire you and get you motivated that, hey, look, we work with tens of thousands of clients every year. This year, we'll probably touch almost 70,000 small businesses. We are seeing testimonials come in all the time. We're hiring a third-party firm, GFK, to go in and survey the recipients and try to figure out how long people keep the magazine, what the referral rate is. And these are the stats that are coming back. You need to capitalize on that by being proactive in customizing your magazine and in your follow-up. So you can customize your magazine in a couple places. One is the photo that I talked about on the front cover. The other is your ads. So you have the back cover and the back inside cover. And this holidays, we're going to have some holiday ad promotions for you where you can select some of our custom holiday ads that you can select and use for $49. We can do something totally custom for you for $99. So something totally custom might look like this. Maybe Josh wants to do a whole thank you ad in a collage of all the clients that he's helped this year. So maybe he has pictures of his clients and stuff like that, and he wants to do a whole thank you. Or maybe he threw a client event and he has photos from all his client events that he did throughout the year. And he wants our designers to get on the phone with him and design something totally custom to go on the back cover of his magazine. We will do that for you for literally only $99.99. Our business model, we do not make money off of selling ads. I want you guys to know that. We do not make money. We're just trying to cover some of the cost of our designers there to do something fully custom. We have tons of free templates in your interface. Josh can show you how to get there in the interface, but tons of free templates that you can utilize. I would encourage you for your holiday one, do one of 2 things. If you want to not spend a lot of time from a customization standpoint, do a thank you ad, because you want to choose an ad that's thanking your clients for being clients of yours. That's why you're sending them this gift, and you can follow up to the magazine going out. The other would be utilize the customization to go put a partner on the back cover of your magazine. So if you're a financial advisor, who's the accounting firm that you want to partner up with, put them on the magazine. If you're a real estate agent, who's the local business that you want to support? If you want to go deeper, maybe you're mailing for Thanksgiving timeframe. Imagine featuring, right? We're doing our pink issue right now. And imagine featuring a local charity on the back cover of your magazine. Maybe you go and you partner with the local food bank in your area and you feature them on the back cover of your magazine. It's a way to connect you to the community. It's a way to get to know that person who runs that nonprofit. And then most importantly, it's a great way to give back and elevate your brand that way. I teach people something called the halo effect, which the halo effect simply states that when people see you doing something good, they take that association of that good and they apply it to all the other things that you do. So if you see me giving back in the local community, you take that association of good and you apply it to what I do in my business. You go, man, look at what he's doing, that amazing work giving back. And they apply that to how I serve people in real estate. And it's a powerful effect in psychology just to boost your credibility and likability. Don't just give the charity for the halo effect, but it's a powerful concept that you can tap in on. So Josh, you want to point out what you're showing there on the screen? I know you're going pretty fast there, but you can teach.
No, I hope everyone can kind of follow along. I was just trying to show what Luke was talking about in terms of going into your back cover. You can choose from those pre-designed ads that we're kind of scrolling through. You can also choose from this little link here that says timely content ads. These are a little bit more focused on the timeliness, or we can actually create an ad for you. If you wanted to see some of the templates that we have available, you can go to creative.remindermedia.com. We're going to include all of these resources in our follow-up emails as well. So we're going to go over a handful of links today, but we're going to include all of that in the follow-up emails. You can see here, you can choose from one of these. They're very similar to the ads, like the pre-designed templated ads, only you have more customization options. So your home search made easy. This one's kind of focused around the holiday time. You could actually send us the photos that maybe you sold this year, or maybe ones that you currently have for sale. This is what I sold in 2023 as another option. We have some great ones here where you can include a family photo as well. Super simple to choose that. And then there's just a form that walks you through so that you can upload your images to us. We'll take care of that and upload it directly to your account so that you have access to it. If you did want to change out for one of our template ads, you can browse the ads from either the back inside cover or the back cover. And then tarot cards is another area to really get into, because tarot cards, I think, obviously, one of the most powerful things about them is they do get torn out of the magazine. They do get saved by people. That I know Luke was going over some stats that we got from our GFK webinar. Tarot cards are the #1 thing that gets saved from the magazine. And then within that subset of tarot cards, recipe cards are saved more than anything. So with the holiday edition, we're going to default to a couple holiday recipes. I went in and picked a Christmas movie bingo card that I could use. And a fun thing about this, if you've got movie lovers on your list and you're thinking about them and you're following and you're learning what people like. I know Luke always talks about the Ford method, learn about people's family, their occupation, their recreation, their dreams. If one of their recreations is watching movies or Christmas movies with their family, there's a bingo card that's a great opportunity to call and follow up with those and just let them know, hey, I was thinking about you whenever I chose that tarot card. Hope you and your family enjoyed it and are having a great holiday season. So again, just these other ways to be able to touch base with your clients during the holidays. And then of course, we walked through the front cover options there as well. I did want to address a couple questions that came through chat because they are relevant to how to make some of these updates that we're going over. And I know we go over stuff quickly. We will be sending out the recording for the webinar as well, so you can always go back and watch it. If you wanted to change your front cover picture, which I know Rogelio, hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, was asking, to change your front cover image on your magazine, you would go into your photos, you would simply pick a different photo, and then you would make primary. When you make that your primary photo, it updates on your front cover, your front inside cover, and your tarot cards. You can also go in and change the ones that print on your back cover and back inside cover separately, but to get your front cover to update, that's how you would want to do that. And then if you want to upload a photo, you can upload a photo directly to the interface. It'll go ahead and color correct it for you, and you can select that for your front cover right away. So if I jump back into my American Lifestyle, you can see that my front cover image, even on my dashboard here, has updated to have that new photo on the front cover.
Love it. And Josh, you want to show them where to upload? Some people have custom ads that they've already created, which is very common. So if you have ads for your business that you've already created, you can upload those to us.
So if you look at the top of your interface, you'll see upload is the second to last link there in between photos and resources. You can go into back cover or back inside cover, depending on which one you're uploading. You can upload that directly from your computer. And if you want to see, maybe you're building it yourself or you're sending it out to have someone else design it, you can actually click this link right here that says specifications, which will take you to what it needs to be sized as. So the back cover is going to be a different size because it has the address bar at the top. The back inside cover will be a full size, but this page includes specifications for each of those. This is also where you can get to those creative services that I showed earlier. So if you click that custom services link, that'll take you to our creative services site where you can go into customizable designs, and then you can click on the holiday tab, which is where we have all those holiday ads available for you to use.
And I forget, because I think it was Bridget, but I can't see it anymore. And the questions is, how many partners can you feature on like the back cover? As many as you want, but commonly we see 1 to as many as 4 to 6 being featured, but as many as you want. And you can change it every time, just so you know that. You have complete flexibility to change who you send to every time. You can change your customization every time. And I see you're pulling up mailing history.
I was going to show. I'm in a demo account, so I don't have a mailing history, unfortunately. But yes, if you go to your magazine, because I saw someone is asking, Anna saying, is there a way to see a history of the tarot cards we've used? There is. So if you go to your magazine and then you go to the mailing history tab, this will show you, you can see the headers here. You can see what the delivery dates were, what the back inside cover ad was, the back cover ad, and then what tear out cards you used. You can see that directly within your mailing history. So great question, Anna.
Yep. Awesome. Okay, so let's go to the letter, Josh, front cover. We can go into the letter. I would encourage you guys. So the letter, a lot of people don't realize you can customize the letter down to the recipient if you want to. Now, most people, they don't customize all 60 magazines they're sending with 60 different letters. Most people, they do groups. So you know how you have your sphere group, maybe you have your partners group, new leads group. They might write a specific letter for their sphere because they're actually friends versus their prospects. They'll write something different, but you have the ability to customize down to the individual, not just the name. So the name is going to be defaulted custom for you. So it will be Dear Josh, Dear Luke, but you can actually, if it was my anniversary, you could say, Dear Luke, happy anniversary to you and Megan. Hope this is your best year yet. That letter would go to just us in our magazine. That's how customizable it can be. I would encourage you for the holidays. You know, I grew up the son of a pastor, but my dad was a missionary's kid. So he grew up in Uruguay his whole life and came back to the States in college and became a pastor. And I grew up a pastor's kid, and we supported missionaries all growing up. And one of the things that the missionaries would do is, because they had to raise support from churches and stuff like that, they would send update letters on like their year. And I actually find those to be extremely effective. I don't know if anybody's ever done this in your family. I know a lot of families do this, where they send out their holiday card and it's like an update of like what happened during the year. You know, Evelyn turned 2 this year. She started, you know, doing her little pre-K stuff. Will was born this year, and it starts updating about what's happened in life. I would encourage you, take advantage of your letter, especially for your true advocates, your true supporters, and write an update of your year for them. Bring them as part of your journey. Not that this, like we all know, it's relationships over transactions. How do you have relationships over transactions? You don't just make all of your communication transactional. If you want a true relationship with your clients, which we all say we do, you got to make your communication relational. You got to connect with them. And if you want vulnerability out of your clients to know about their family, their occupation, their recreation, their dreams, you've got to make sure you're also sharing what's going on in your life, both digitally and through your magazine and stuff, because it will open up vulnerability, creates vulnerability, right? So if you want people to trust you, give them some trust so they can open up to you. And so I would take advantage in this letter to be able to do that for your friends and family. And Josh, you want to show them the letter where they can customize that?
Yep, absolutely. So if you go into your front inside cover, so again, I am under my magazine tab, and then down with the cover section. So front cover, front inside cover is where you would head to. This will then prompt whether or not you're editing your recipient letter or your promotional letter. And I'm going to edit recipient letter. So promotional letter is your promotional copies that you get shipped to yourself in bulk. The recipient letters are the ones that are getting mailed directly to the recipients on your list. Click Edit Recipient Letter. That will then prompt you to select which group you're editing the letter for. So if you've got your group segmented, like we talked about in the beginning, you can send out separate letters to each of those. I think I saw Haley say, I always do an individual message. So I think that that's really cool that we have people
That is awesome.
taking advantage of that as well. Right here, I've got my advocates and my sphere. So maybe I want to change the provided letter that is going to my advocates. If I click edit next to that, I can go ahead and type in my own letter here. We also have some letter examples, and we'll include a link to this in the follow-up emails as well. But we have this front inside cover letter template because maybe you're not a writer. Tip, you can also use ChatGPT to write a letter for your magazine as well. We actually have some of that built right in here also, but you can see here past clients, referrals, all of these different examples. I can jump down to holiday. And if I don't want to have to write my own letter, I can simply copy and paste this holiday letter to go out to my list, or I can write my own and just kind of make it more personalized based on what's going on in my business, or focused on my clients that are receiving the magazine as well. So really easy to update your letters based on your groups. And because we're talking about groups, I do want to jump back to a question that I saw come in that said, how do I add and remove people from my groups? So one more time, we'll just go over that because I know it's a lot to go over. If I go to recipients and recipient group, I can go into any of these, and I'll go into one that's receiving the magazine product. So I'll go into my advocates. Within here, I can either add a recipient directly to this group, and it'll default to my group advocates, but I can change that. So I can add them manually there, or I can click import recipients and upload a file directly to that group, and the system will go ahead and clean that up. If you wanted to remove somebody, you can either move them from a group. I wouldn't necessarily delete them unless it's just, you don't need that contact in your system anymore, but you could always change them to a group that isn't receiving your magazine or is receiving a different product or isn't receiving any products. You can always move those people out of that group by simply clicking change group, choosing one of the other groups that you have, or if you did want to remove them completely, you can delete the recipient and it'll just warn you there that that can't be undone.
Sweet. Can you show them how to create a group, Josh?
How to create a group? Yeah, absolutely. So on my recipient groups dashboard here, I can click add group. I can name this, let's call it my webinar group. I can give it a description, so I remember why I made it in the first place. And then I can go down here. I've got my webinar group set up. I can add people to that group. I can remove the group, or I can assign products to that group. So like we showed before, you can assign your magazine or any of your digital mailing, your email products as well.
Yeah, awesome. We will spend a lot of time at the end answering questions, but I want to make sure we get content-wise to the digital, just to make sure you guys are taking advantage of it. I saw a lot of questions earlier about, should I send the magazine and the digital to my clients? I would say yes. Two reasons why. One is you want omnipresence. The more people see you in multiple places, the more likely they will actually remember you, the more impact, top of mind awareness you'll get. And there's a lot of research to prove that to be true. But your digital is different in content than your print. So your digital is going to have unique content to the digital that way they're almost getting an extra bonus, that person that's receiving the print magazine. When we first launched digital, we launched it to be bi-monthly, just like the print magazine, and to have 7 articles, just like the print magazine. And what we found is people like to receive digital content more frequently, and they like to receive shorter, more bite-sized pieces of content. So we do the digital magazine monthly, and we do 4 articles. So we make it smaller for you. And the digital is not just a PDF flip book for those who know that are using it. It's an interactive digital platform. So if you want to show them, Josh, just the digital magazine real quick, and the same type of customization concepts apply. You can create groups for your digital. You can create magazines, digital magazines for those specific groups. So if you wanted to create a different email or a different letter, let's just say for a group, you could do that. You can even put video in your letter that your marketing coach can help you do. I don't know if you have that in yours or not, Josh, but your marketing coach can help you do that. This whole front inside page here is customized just like the front inside of your magazine, except it's digital. So you can put images in there. We've seen people feature listings in here. They've put a welcome video in their digital magazine. So there's a lot of creative ways you can use the digital.
Yep. Each article can be shared on social media as well, or you can share your entire edition. It's actually really easy to put video and images into your digital edition. So if I go in here and edit this version of my magazine, it'll let me first choose my cover options and what images I want to use, but then that'll drop me into the letter itself. You can see here, I've got one of our YouTube videos embedded in here. If I go over to our Reminder Media YouTube page, and this is going to play here. Oh, I caught it in time. And if I go to one of these more recent,
this actually comes from a blog.
You'll see on any of these, you always have this option to share. And so if I click share, that's going to give me the option to grab the embed code. I can simply click that, copy this embed code right here that's on the right-hand side that I have highlighted. And when I drop that into my letter page here, you'll see it'll drop the next thumbnail for that video. Same thing applies with images. So you can grab the embed code of the image as well, and you can put those directly into your digital edition. So really simple there. Facebook has a similar feature where you can just, if you're posting videos, maybe you're posting client testimonials to your Facebook page, you can grab that embed code. Just look for embed, and then you can add that into your digital edition letter as well.
Yeah, great.
You can also assign people to receive both products. So I know we had a question that came in that said, how do I get people to receive both my magazine and my digital edition? You would come in here, you can see here, I've got the magazine, digital edition, and postcards all going to Sphere. In order to do that, you would just click into the group or click this Manage Products button underneath within the products column, and then you would just choose to add the digital edition to that group and make sure that that person is in that group.
And I see some questions coming in for Spanish. Digital, we do have a Spanish version of Good to Be Home Digital. That's the first kind of Spanish magazine we have right now. We're working on other items for that. But if you go in to create your digital magazine, if you kind of want to hold that drop down, Josh, down, I want to show people you can send any of the digital magazines. So if you sign up for a digital edition of the magazine, you could send American Lifestyle digitally and Good to Be Home print if you wanted to. You could send Business in Action, Start Healthy, and we have Good to Be Home in Spanish right now for digital. For any of our clients that have Spanish-speaking clients, you could use that as well. We just released it, a month and a half, 2 months ago. We've gotten some great feedback on
August. Yeah, August was our first one. Yeah.
So you have that there. Okay, let's move to, with your digital, right? So you can have this being sent out. The other thing you get in the digital marketing bundle. So there's basically 4 components of our digital marketing bundle. It's your digital magazine. It's your local events email newsletter. Then you have branded post, which I want to show you here, and then landing pages. So let's go to branded post because I want you guys to be on social during the holidays because people are on social media as they're traveling, right? Everybody's traveling, so they're going to be on social. I want you guys to be there, and I want you to be there with content that will engage them for the holidays. So we give you a library called your post library that Josh is on right now, and it has thousands of pieces of content, but we have a category for holiday content. So, and there's subcategories. You can see Josh clicking around there. All of this content you can schedule out on your social media, on your Facebook, your Instagram. You can post. All of the content is branded to you. So if Josh wanted to share this holiday experiences to enjoy, and he can preview it for you here real quick, it's going to be when you share it to Facebook, and they go and they click on that article, they're going to come to this page and they're going to see your information. So your branding's on it and it's customizable, right? So not only can you customize the photo that's on the web page, the contact information, you can customize this call to action button. So it says contact me today, but that you can make totally custom to be custom to whatever you want. When they fill out that form, that's going to go right into your interface as a lead. Most importantly, that I'm trying to point out here, though, is I want you to consistently be posting on your social. And this is a great way to come in and get content to be able to post up. And if you want to spend 15 minutes on a Saturday, you can literally schedule out 30 days of your social media leading up to the holidays and pick things that are relevant to people around that time.
Yeah, I'm just kind of clicking around here as you're showing it. I was pulling up how to share those. You can schedule those on your social media. As Luke mentioned, you can customize any of this information with any of the photo and logos, contact information that you wanted to share on that. And then you can always change what this contact button says as well. And then where those forms actually get submitted to. So you can choose the email address that will receive those forms. I did see someone else bring up, and maybe Luke, you were going to talk about it, the local events email newsletter as well. So we have 200 markets now where we actually have people within those markets that are going through and hand selecting the local events that are important to that area. So these aren't just, there are some concerts in there, but it's not just the national tours that you can get off Ticketmaster. These are unique things that are happening within your local area. I have Greater Orlando selected here right now. This email then goes out every 2 weeks, and it has 2 weeks of events featured in there. And again, it's all going to be branded to you and with your contact information. And so you can see this has some of those unique events that are happening in the Orlando area. Just a great way to kind of show off your local expertise.
And show them,
well.
Josh, like change the market. So hit change market there. And then like we have what you said, like 200, your zip code or whatever. And you'll see Southeastern PA.
Yeah.
And Josh can click
all of the dots around the country there.
So save that new market and it will create a new email with those local events for you. So you can like see. And our key here is we're scraping the web for all these events, but more importantly, we have that live person that Josh is saying that is going through and going, they live in this area. So they're trying to pick out events that are more on the unique side or local side, like this Harrington House, Farmstead Fair. So this is happening local in Josh and I's area, or this Autumn and Artisan Festival at Lundale Farm. So it's like picking out those. This is really popular content to send because it's local events happening in your area that you can send out that makes you the local mayor of your town, but it gives you a perfect opportunity to pick up the phone and engage with your clients that are engaging with your content. Find out if they're going to an event. Let your clients know, hey, I'm going to be at the Lundale Farm this Saturday. If any of you guys are going to be there, let me know. And it's a great way to engage with people. I see a lot of people asking, Trent, I see your most recent question about the webinar being recorded. It is being recorded. It will be in you guys' interface and also sent to you through email. So you'll have the recording of it that you can watch back. For support, though, in your interface, Josh, if you want to skip back to the interface real quick, down at the right-hand side, you'll see a little chat bot. So we have live people, a bunch of people that manage these chats and customer service, and we can get you set up with a call with your marketing coach. So if you need help with any of these things that you're trying to do, chat in, and we can either hopefully help you on chat, or if we need to get on the phone with you, we can get on the phone with you and set up a call and walk you through this. Because we want to make sure, one, if you're buying the product, that you're using the product and taking advantage of it from a follow-up perspective. Okay, so I want to talk about leveraging your magazines just with the couple minutes we have left. And then we'll go into answering all these questions that are flowing in. But leveraging your magazines from a pop-by perspective and from a get-together perspective. So we have these magazines called promotional copies. And if you've wondered, what is a promotional copy? It's our way of basically saying, these are the magazines we bulk ship to you. So we want you to promote yourself with them, to get out there and hand them out. So you can have 20 of these magazines drop shipped to you, along with the magazines that we send out to your database. The magazines that are sent to you can be customized differently. Maybe you have a different letter in the ones that are sent to you because you know you're going to be handing them out. The ones that are sent to you don't have the name of the person here because you don't know who you're going to give it to. And the magazines don't have any dates on them. So if you order 25 of these magazines, you're not going to have to fear that, oh man, I only have a month to hand this out because there's a date on it and it makes it feel old. A really popular way to use the magazine is at your open houses. So if you're a real estate agent doing open houses, have your magazine at your open house to give to a prospective buyer that's coming in. If you have a place of business where you meet somebody, utilize the magazine in that. If you're doing listing presentations or doing a sales presentation, take the magazine with you because it's an impression piece when you meet that person for the first time. In fact, I teach agents all the time, pull out the magazine in your listing presentation when you're explaining what you do from a marketing standpoint to help sell the house. Say to them, hey, I can also feature your listing on my magazine. It's just something I do to send out to my database to raise awareness, and it's something that I can do for you. Take the magazines with you for your family get-togethers. Give them to your friends and family. If you want to go to the next level, make the cookie recipe when you're getting for your holiday get together or whatever. Make like this cookie recipe type thing. Take it to the event with you and bring some of your magazines with you because it's just a great way to create buzz. And the magazine is an incredible impression piece and credibility builder. When people see that you have your own magazine, they immediately think you're doing well. And if they think you're doing well, it means they think you're good at what you do. And people want to work with the best. No matter what they tell you, they want to work with people that they feel know more than them, that are experts at what they do, that will take care of them or take care of the referrals that they give to you. And so this is just a tool in your tool belt to be able to showcase that.
Yeah,
so Josh,
absolutely.
you want to talk about pop buys?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go through this quick because I know we are at the top of the hour. We do want to make sure we get to everybody's questions, but doing client pop buys or calling clients right now, using the magazine to add value, like Luke mentioned, all of these downloads here that you see on the page, you can actually get directly within your interface as well. So at the top, if you click on resources, you'll have access to all of those resources, including our printables. And if you click into printables, you can see all of the options there. These are great things you can download directly to your website, or excuse me, directly to your computer. You can print them out on your home computer, or you can print them out at a place like Staples. I think if I type in holiday here for my printables, you can see some of those pop-ups of free downloads for client holiday treat tags, holiday candy wrappers, gift tags, just some really cool, fun things that you can include in your client pop buys or your client appreciation baskets or anything else that you do for your marketing there. And then, of course, we also have tons of scripts available for you. So if you're not sure what to say on your phone calls, again, you can actually jump into your resources here and just search. So anything that you're looking for, just search here within your resources. Scripts is going to pull up Sphere call scripts for real estate agents, referral call scripts. We have for business professionals, insurance, financial advisors, follow-up call scripts, small talk networking scripts, tons and tons and tons of information and free resources for you to access there. If you want to make those calls and you want to make those connections, you're just not quite sure how to start the conversation, you can get all of those in your interface as well.
Yeah, I want to point out for people on that call, which is so important. I would just really encourage you to make the calls this holiday season and use the magazine as your reason to call. So if I send my good to be home here to Josh, I'm going to call Josh up and say, hey, Josh, I was thinking about you today. I just got my latest issue of Good to Be Home. It reminded me I'm sending it to you as a gift. Just want to make sure you got it. Hey, man, there's a great recipe in there. Maybe you can make it for you guys as a holiday get-together this year. Megan and I tried out the cookie recipe. It was amazing. You should check it out. But hey, have you been getting the magazine? You enjoy it? How's life been going for you? I'm going to use my magazine just as my non-salesy reason to call. One of the reasons we don't get referrals is because we don't ask. You know, Dale Carnegie's famous stat is 91% of consumers, when surveyed, say they will refer their business professional. 11% of salespeople ask. The main barrier for us asking is because we know I sold Josh a home 8 months ago. I sold Josh an insurance policy 10 months ago, and I haven't really talked to him for 8 months, for 10 months. And now I feel kind of weird because I'm calling him, asking him for more business, but I haven't really checked in any other time. The magazine gives you a non-salesy way to reach out and just thank them, tell them you appreciate them. They pop into your mind because you got your copy. And then once you catch up, one of the key phrases that I give to people is when you're catching up, just ask them, hey, Josh, how's your work been going, man? How's life been going for you in work? He's going to share what he's been doing in work. And he's naturally going to do what? He's going to respond and say, oh, man, my work's been going X, Y, Z. Luke, how's your work been going? Like, man, it's been an interesting market this year, man. It's been crazy. It's been amazing. Hey, man, I have a lofty goal for my business as I'm headed into 2024. Man, I want to help, and you state your goal. I want to help 35 families in 2024 really find their dream home. And not to be funny, man, if I could work with, 35 Joshes, it'd be amazing. Do you know anybody that you could connect me with? My business, maybe they're not looking for a house right today. My business is really relationships. I'm just looking to meet more people, have conversations with more people. Is there anybody that you could connect me with? I'd love to send them my magazine. In these industries that we work in, the average person knows between 3 and 5 people a year that they're connected with that need your service. So if you just send to 50 people, there's a potential of 250 opportunities out there for you. You're not going to get them all. Nobody ever does. But if you make that pitch, you're going to find that, wow, man, you can add 10%. You can get 25 deals off of just successfully nurturing 50 relationships. And that really is the goal. Josh and I wanted to put up these kind of ROI referral map and this ROI for you connecting just to inspire you to try to make those calls. Because if you send to 50 people at an average referral rate of 31%, which is what our last survey showed, that's 16 referrals. If you close that at 50%, you're going to get 8 clients. if you're in real estate, and if you're in insurance financial, add your transaction value here. But if you're in real estate, the average home sale price about $436,000, 3% commission, that's $13,000 in GCI. That's $104,000 in profit that you're bringing in from just doing 50 people. If you think about it from a repeat business standpoint, and you nurture Josh for 10 years, you spend money on him sending this magazine, and he gives you nothing. The average person, let's say, is moving every 10 years, and you send this magazine to him, and you do that for 50 people over the course of 10 years, you're going to spend almost 15 grand. But our stats show about an 80% repeat transactions. That's 40 clients at an average home sale price of $436,000, 3% commission. That's $524,000 in GCI minus the mailing cost. You're bringing in $509,000. That's $50,957 per year nurturing those people. The key that I find in growing business, and I always tell people, don't watch what people say, watch what they do, right? Because people could say whatever they want. It's really what they do. Look at my own business. I'm going to touch probably 70,000 clients this year. We've grown tremendously, 300 employees working. This is what we do. We're going to generate probably 22,000, 23,000 referrals, Josh, out of our own business this year. So many of them thanks to clients like you who are giving them to us. But we are trying to do webinars for our clients, podcasts for our clients. I send out thousands of my own magazines. Like, we are doing all these things to nurture our own database, because I know the gold is in, hey, if I can stay top of mind and get people to know me, like me, and trust me, and I can stay consistent in that, then ultimately over time, I'm going to win in the long run. So I just want to encourage you and exhort you. We're going to answer all these questions now that, hey, I want you guys to nurture your database for the holidays, and man, call those clients, get those referrals, because that's where the business is at. If you are a current client, we want to incentivize you to refresh your mailing list, to look at your mailing list and add anybody that you're missing. Anybody that you add, unlimited that you add for this next mailing, we will pay for half of your next mailing for those people that you added. So that is something we want to do for you. If you want to do that deal, then you go to remindermedia.com/half off. So it would be remindermedia.com/half off.
We're missing the .com. Don't forget the .com one.
Yeah, don't forget the .com. There you go. Yeah. But remindermedia.com/half off, and enter in, and you can get basically anybody you add to your mailing list. We will pay for half of your magazine on your next mailing for them. And then if you are not a client of Reminder Media, but are interested in doing this for the holidays, we want to offer you $200 off your setup fee. Our setup fee is normally $300 for those who sign up online or just come in. We want to offer you $99.99 as your setup fee. And you can go to remindermedia.com/go to claim that offer and read more details on there. It explains it all for you, but we'd love to do that. We're going to spend some time answering some questions. We have hundreds and hundreds.
How are we going to tackle this?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions here. We won't be able to get to all of them, both in the Q&A and in the chat, but I want to hit as many as we can to try to help you guys. But super appreciative of you joining this webinar. For everybody who joined that has to jump, super appreciative of you guys joining, and appreciate your business. And I am looking forward to helping you crush it over the holidays so we can set you up for 2024.
Yep. We did have some questions coming in about the address lookup. So I know Cheryl was asking, can you look up a phone number from email? Is that a free service? Someone else was asking how much that service costs. Right now, this is something we just started offering, and we are offering it for free. So you would just contact your rep that you work with here, or use that chat function on the website, and they can get you connected with somebody. We can look up those addresses for you for free. I don't know that we'll be able to do it for free forever, but it's free right now. So take advantage of it. If you have a list of phone numbers and you need those addresses, talk to your rep. They can look those up for you. I can't do it based on email yet, but that's a great thing for us to look into as well, to see if we can look up the phone number from the email. We do have the ability to pull people within your local area that are likely to move, that about 60% of those will include phone numbers and email. So that might be a way to get some of those phone numbers from your emails as well. But actually getting the phone number directly from the email, I don't have that ability right away. There are some sites that you can do that from. Been Verified is one, BEEN verified.com. I know we have used that in the past as well. That usually does a pretty good job. You could do reverse email lookup, reverse phone lookup, or reverse address lookup for any of those other pieces of contact information, but something we can definitely look into offering directly from our interface as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so Tina, I'm seeing your question is coming, the most recent. Can I get a sample magazine or a digital copy? You can. If you go to remindermedia.com, right there on the homepage, you can find out. You can go to the branded magazine section and get a sample sent to you right there, or from the homepage, you can get a sample sent to you as well. And then we can take note, Callan's in the background, and get you out a sample as well. Silver, see your comment. Really love that. I love the magazine. I got a listing from it. So appreciate that so much. All right. So I am seeing here, Mary Beth, do you have a sample of Start Healthy? If you go to remindermedia.com and look at branded magazines, you can get a sample of Start Healthy as well on that page by just going and checking out the Start Healthy magazine. Josh is pulling that up as well. Okay. So let me scroll down. Does likely to move feature work for B2B? So I'm not sure I understand that question, but it works for basically every.
I have seen, I could jump in here real quick because I saw that question as well. I have seen businesses pop up on likely to move. I do not have any stats. I know residentially, what we mentioned in terms of about 25% accurate of what it actually predicts will move within the next 6 to 12 months. Businesses do appear on that list though. So there is a chance that works with the B2B, but I don't have any stats. I want to make sure that we're transparent about that. It's meant for residential, but I have seen businesses appear on people's lists.
Awesome.
Scott's asking if there's a way to split a list of clients between 2 magazines to satisfy minimums. Examples: Business Magazine for business owners, American Lifestyle to others. So Scott, if you want to chat in your email address, we can have your rep reach out to you. There could be a way. We're on the precipice of rolling out a new feature which will allow everybody to split their list. So if that's something that you're interested in and you just want to chat in your email address and just say, I'm interested in that feature, let us know. We can have your rep reach out and see if your account is eligible for switching that. But it's a great way because then you can actually target the magazine to a group of people that would be most interested in that particular piece of content or that particular magazine.
Shar is asking, how do we order the extra to have on hand? So if you want to show them promotional copies, Josh, real quick, because we didn't get to show that in the interface. But this is how, if you want magazines drop shipped to you, you can get them in your interface.
Yep. So again, underneath your magazine link here, underneath direct mail, you would click on the link that says promotional copies. From here, you'll be prompted to edit, to put in a quantity there so you can update the order. It's a minimum of 20, and then it's in intervals of 5. So with mailing, you can do intervals of 1. With direct mail, you can do intervals of 1. For promotional copies, it's intervals of 5. So enter in your quantity. Choose whether or not you want to receive it every mailing or this issue only. So if you just want to try it out once, you could choose this issue only. This will pull from your office address or whatever we have on file for your office address, but you can update that. If you wanted to send that to your home or send it to a different location, you can do that. And then you can simply update order with that quantity. The letter can be different for your promotional copies than your recipient copies. So you might not know who you'll end up handing this out to, or maybe have a specific use for it. Like maybe you want to put it in your listing packets, or you want to put it in new client welcome kits. So if that's something that you already kind of know ahead of time, you can write that letter and tailor it towards that group. Everything else with the magazine will be the same as your mail copies. The biggest difference will be it won't be addressed to anybody, and you can have a different letter within your promotional copies.
Nice. So a lot of questions on digital of, kind of the pricing, how it's bundled together. So you can purchase digital bundle or the print magazine together, or you can purchase them separately. So the print magazine is $4.49 right now, and that's shipping included. So the designed and delivered. For you, the minimum order that you have to do between promotional copies and recipients is 50 magazines. And you can go up in increments of 1 for your recipients, like Josh said. So you could do 51 magazines, you could do 66. It's totally up to you. The digital, if you want to add on the digital bundle, which includes local event emails, the digital magazine, it includes landing pages, and it includes branded posts, which is all the social media aspect. That for print clients is only $79.99 a month. And that allows you unlimited sharing on social and the ability to send up to 1,000 people of each product. So 1,000 people for the digital, different 1,000 for the local events, that type of idea. If you have a bigger email list than 1,000, every 1,000 block is just $10 extra. So if you had an email list of 2,000, you would be $89.99 versus $79.99. So if you do the print and you want to add on all the digital, it's just $79.99. There's no contract. So you only keep it if it's something that you believe is producing value. The testimony I hear all the time is people tell me, you know, hey, look, an hour of my time is worth more than $79.99, and it saves me way more than an hour. Just the social media content alone and the scheduling that it does for my social. And that doesn't include the digital magazine, the local events, the landing pages that I get. But that's $79.99. If you want to just do digital without the print, then it's $119.99 a month. So it goes up in price if you don't do the print. If you want to just buy one of the pieces, so if you just wanted your digital magazine because you didn't want the social, or you didn't want, let's say landing page or something like that, you can do that. But I would encourage you, for the price, you would want to stay at the bundle, and we can walk you through that, and we can do a demo for you on that.
Yep. A couple people asking, how do I write a letter to an individual person? So for right now, the way that you would do that is you would set up that individual into its own group. And so you could go into your recipient groups, you could add a group, you could call it Luke, then you could move Luke into that group and then write a letter for Luke. If you do that once, and because you want to have a special letter just for Luke for that issue, and you don't think to move Luke back, or you don't think to edit the group, that's okay. His letter is going to reset to the next issue like everybody else's. We are working on a new feature that will be recipient versions to make that easy, so you don't actually have to move Luke out of your sphere of influence group. You can just create a recipient version for him within the group. But for right now, it's pretty simple to add the group, move Luke into the group, and then edit the letter for that group.
Yep. Kim is saying, what if you already pay $39.99 for the digital edition? So yes, so that's, you're just buying the digital edition. If you want to add on social landing pages and local events, it would just go to $79.99 for your charge. Sharon's asking what are landing pages, so we can get in that. I'm going to scroll back up. I was trying to get back to some of these deeper back end questions on the chat, but you can show them landing pages real quick, Josh, if you want.
Yep. So underneath lead generation here in your menu, everyone who's on here, whether or not you have our digital bundle or not, you have access to one free landing page. And then if you wanted to have access to unlimited, you can just join our digital bundle as well. But for our landing pages, we have different options for that. The unique thing about this, it is your own URL. So you can see here, my URL for my landing pages is joshstike.reminderlp.com, and you can change this piece of it. So if you wanted to change that to your own branding or how you wanted your name to appear there, you can change that directly within the interface. You can then add a page, and you can see the different landing pages that we do have available. We have some ebooks. This will be based on your industry. So right now I'm set to real estate. If I was set to insurance, I would see different ebooks available. Ebooks are great value adds. We call them lead magnets, meaning if you post this on your social media, or you include a QR code in your magazine or in your postcards, driving them to download this ebook, that'll take them to a landing page where they'll fill in their name, their email address, and their phone number, and then they can download that free piece of content. You can then preview what that would look like here on the page, and then you can choose the various options for anybody who fills out that landing page form. What group would they go into? You can name your landing page. You can update the URL. You could even, if you're into Facebook and retargeting, you can add your meta, your pixel ID, and then you can actually use that to retarget people on your landing page as well. I'll go over a couple other different versions that we have. We have a subscription landing page, so you can actually have people sign up to receive your digital products. I know a lot of people struggle with the deliverability piece of email marketing. This is a great way to overcome that, because you're actually getting people to opt into your list. They're raising their hand. They're telling you that they want to receive your digital edition from them. So you can promote that in your social media or any of your other marketing. comparative market analysis is a no-brainer if you're in real estate. So what this will actually do is it'll prompt people to enter their address. Then once they enter their address, it'll say, great, where do you want us to send your CMA to? They'll enter their name and their email address and their phone number, and then it'll give them an estimation of what the internet thinks that their house is worth. So it uses a valuation model. It's not going to be exactly what Zillow says. It'll be close to all of the other valuation models out there. But then that gives you an opportunity to reach out as the local real estate professional and help them with a true comparative market analysis of their home. And then, of course, you see we have some other pages here as well. Really easy to set up. You can see your analytics. You can see all of the leads that came in through your landing pages, which then allows you to add them to your email list or pick up the phone and call those people to speak with them.
Yeah, one thing I have been teaching agents to do is, like, for your social media, like your Instagram, if you are on our digital bundle and have landing pages, if I'm you, I would pull out your phone and just go, hey guys, I've been blown away seeing at what prices are worth right now for homes. If you want to know what your home's worth, check out my site right here, enter in your address, and I'll do a comparative market analysis for you so you can see what your home's worth. And you can literally link to your own landing page in your Instagram story, and people can then, you can basically get your followers on Instagram to raise their hand that they want to know what their phone's worth. Another thing that I teach people is a CMA a day. So you should pick someone in your sphere, reach out to them with a text message. Go, Josh, was thinking about you today. You know, a lot of my friends are asking me what their home's worth, and I just wanted to be a resource to you. I appreciate you and the relationship we have. If you wanted to know what your home's worth, I would love to do that for you. And then whatever else you want to add about knowledge on the market or whatever, and you can send him your landing page so he can quickly, that's just a text message to your database. You're doing one CMA a day. And it's an easy, I shouldn't say easy, but it's a consistent way where you can get in front of your leads to generate, or sphere to generate leads. I'm seeing questions up here of Ty is asking, is Business in Action available? It is. You can change your magazine and your interface. Josh, if you want to jump to the magazine, show them how they can change it. And then also Stacy was asking, I send out American Lifestyle, but I recently noticed you have another one called Good to Be Home. What is the difference? And the difference content-wise, American Lifestyle is general interest. So it's travel, art, food, design, lifestyle content, a little bit of everything for everybody. Good to Be Home, think Better Homes and Garden, think HGTV. It's going to be things about the home, about outdoors. Business in Action, think Success Magazine, Inc. Magazine. It's going to be a magazine about tips on running a successful business. This is really popular if you're marketing to B2B, business owners, people who enjoy that content. And then Start Healthy is going to be all around kind of healthy living, super popular in insurance and financial advising because you want to be branded as health and wealth. I care about your financial health, but I also care about your physical health as well. So it's a nice branding there for you, but it's popular obviously in medical and all that stuff. You can send and change magazines anytime you want. So if you send 50 American Lifestyles, the next time you send, you can click and go to Good to Be Home and send the home magazine. We have people that for the new year, they'll send Start Healthy because it's new year, new you. And then the spring's rolling around, they'll send the home one because everybody's getting their homes ready for spring, right? Spring cleaning, all that stuff. And they'll do that for the spring and the summer. And then come fall, they'll do American Lifestyle to connect people on there. So you can switch magazines to make your content, see which ones your clients like more, gives you a reason to call. So those are some of the unique things you can do as well. No charge for that either.
And I'm not sure if you mentioned the name of who asked for Business in Action. Business in Action does have, instead of a mailing every week like we have with our other magazines, because it's newer, it has a mailing every other week. So you can, a deadline every other week. It's still a magazine that goes out every other month. So if you're not seeing the actual drop down here when changing your magazine, like Luke mentioned earlier, just chat in, use the chat function. That will let you speak with somebody and they can go into the back end and set that up for you. Or if you have a rep that you work with regularly, you can email or call them and they can do that as well. Or if you just want to chat in here and say, I already know I want it, let us know and we can go in the back end and update that for you. I just don't remember who asked for that.
Yeah, it's Ty, but we can get that to him. Scott was saying, can we run a list of names and addresses from a zip code to get most likely to move? So anybody you upload and import into our system, we'll run it for you automatically. If you want to buy a zip code, you have the ability to do that in our interface through Josh is pulling it up, targeted mailing list. So you can pick a zip code and we will tell you what the algorithm is saying about that zip code. If you want to buy a whole zip code of data, you can do that through our interface as well.
Yep. So once you add in your zip code here, it will give you how many properties in that zip code it has available. And then it'll show you very likely to move, neutral, unlikely, and then recently sold and listed. You can choose as many from these columns, each of these columns as you want through your list purchase here. I did see Candy asks, is the landing page in place of your own website or can it be integrated? So the great thing about a landing page, and this is just in general, like your landing page is different from your website. Your website can have landing pages, but when you're thinking about landing pages, you want to think about a single page with a single purpose, and typically you're driving traffic directly to it. So you're either building an email out that's driving people directly to it, you're putting a QR code on your print material that's driving people to it, you're running an ad or a social media post that's driving people directly to it. And ultimately what you're trying to do is collect leads from those. So you can link out to our landing pages on your website. Each landing page will have its own URL. So you can see here, you can just copy the URL directly from your interface. And then you can integrate that, like I said, into a social media post, an email, a newsletter. You can print it directly in your magazine as well. We tried to make the URLs fairly simple and easy to remember so people can go to those landing pages. But in order to integrate it with your website, you could just link directly to it, and people don't have to know that they left your website. You could also drop it into an iframe on your website. That gets a little technical, but if you've got a web person, they can help you with that as well. And then Crystal is asking if it's possible to make the letter larger. So Crystal, if you chat into your rep, I'll write your name down too. I took a little note there. There is an option we can go into the back end and give you large print letter version. Limits how many characters you have, you have to work with, but we can make that print larger.
Yep. So I know we're almost at 4:30, so we'll wrap up here. I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody's questions, but we take these questions and we get them to our marketing coaches. We want to get in touch with you. I want to boil this down to the simplicity of what you really should do. Like if you're going, okay, I just saw so much content, it's so overwhelming, I have a business to run, what do I need to take action on? I would tell you, look at your list, make sure you've updated it and you're sending to the people you want to send to. If you can, upload a personal photo for your next mailing, like something that's, more like holidays, like you and your family, something like that. It will connect you better to your sphere. And if you really want to get in there and choose a customization option, choose something that is like a thank you for your clients. Look at your list of likely to move. Those are the people I would challenge you must call once this magazine hits homes. I want you to call everybody, but the must is the people who are on your likely to move list. Reach out to them, check in on them, make sure you use the magazine as your reason to call. Then utilize our social media to stay consistent on your social media. So people are seeing you on their coffee table. They're also seeing you on Facebook. And then do this. I call this my 5 for 5 challenge every day. Take 5 minutes every day and pick 5 people on your list and hit them with either a personal social media post or hit them with a text message with maybe offering them a free CMA or just catching up. It's really simple. You go into the interface there, you go to your branded post library. Josh is one of the 5 names that you picked today. You go to his wall on Facebook, you go to his Instagram, you DM him and you say, Josh, thinking about you today, man. Hope you've been doing well. Haven't talked in a while. And you pick something. Maybe it's an article. So, hey, I saw this article, thought you might like it. But anyways, hope you're doing well. Really appreciate you. And just DM them that or text them it, but hit them personally, 5 for 5. If you can't do 5 people, do a 3 for 3. I'm doing that in an agent I'm coaching right now. He's doing a 3 for 3. But take that time and do that. Over the course of 30 days, you will have hit almost your whole database. I guarantee it. And you will have hit them with a personal outreach. And those texts, those DMs will turn into conversations, and you'll be blown away what will happen for your brand when you get into conversations with people, because this business is built off of relationships. You have relationships by getting to know people. You get to know people through conversations. You have conversations because you reached out. You need a reason to reach out. That's what this is all about. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, the difference between top producers and mediocre producers is top producers take action. So you can't implement it all, but implement one thing, implement 2 things. That is how you win. I appreciate you guys so much. You don't have any idea how much you mean to us as our clients. It's just amazing what Josh and I get to do. We just thank you so much. And we want to help you. Chat in if you need help. Connect with us on social. And we want to help you. Thank you for using our products.
Yes.
Really, really appreciate you guys.
Thank you, everybody, and wishing you a happy holiday season and a fantastic finish to 2023. Thank you.
Appreciate it.